You like COD. I like COD. And improving your social skills and being less awkward is exactly the same as creating a class in this game. There is no difference. If you can't keep a conversation going, you always have awkward silences, girls reject you, you stutter, you get nervous around girls. It is simply a fact of you not creating your class properly. But today, we are going to delete all of your classes and make a good one together that allows you to keep conversations going, go up to women and them actually accept you into their life so you can go on more dates. I'm gonna run you through every attachment of the gun and also some really quick fixes that you can use to improve your social poise in less than 10 minutes. I'm not here to waste your time. It's hot as fuck in here and I wanna go and play some COD. P.S. Before I get into it, you have to think of it this way. To get better at COD and increase your rank, you actually need to play the game. It's exactly the same with social ability. You need to go out there and socialize. But I know it's scary for some of you. I'm going to equip you with the class that makes it very, very easy. Let's start with Quick Draw. Quick Draw in Call of Duty is all about aiming down the sights faster so you can kill people faster than they kill you. In real life, this is equivalent to keeping the conversation going and avoiding those awkward silences. I'm going to share with you one exercise that you can start doing and a couple of questions that you can use when you get into awkward silences that allows you to get out of it. The exercise is simply this. Get out your phone and start a 30-second timer. Do this every single time you eat. Before you eat, start a 30-second timer and I just want you to say random words for 30 seconds. So it might be camera, wall, towel, fan, chair, lamp, orange, milk, butter, without repeating the same niche. So I'm not gonna go tree, bush, grass, plant. 3 words at the max at the same category and then change your category. Start slow. So go camera, floor, fan, air conditioner, sun, grass, orange, berry. Start extremely slow and then you can move up your speed. This trains, I think it's the amygdala, something like that. It's part of the brain. I'll put it up on screen. And also the prefrontal cortex, allowing you to think of things on the spot. Now here are 3 questions that you can use when you get into awkward silences that you did not intend to really get into. First question, so what are you doing here? If you see a really attractive girl at the mall and you go up to her and you don't really know what to say in the middle of a conversation or whatever, just say, what are you doing here? Another one you can use, you look like somebody I know. I recognize you from somewhere. This puts the pressure on them. They're probably going to start talking about themselves. Third one, pose yourself as somebody new in the area and ask this person what fun is there to do around here. Ask them, okay, I'm new. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I have no friends. Even if this is not the truth, just say it anyway. And that will spark up conversations. I'm not going to tell you what to do after that. It's up to your instinct to go from there. Also, the most important thing, have knowledge in whatever you're talking about. General knowledge about what you're interested in, what this person may be interested in, because if you have no knowledge, you're not going to be able to think of anything. Second thing, scope. In Call of Duty, as you know, this allows you to improve your accuracy. In real life, this is the equivalent of eye contact. Rule of thumb, I'm not going to touch on this a lot because I don't need to. Give eye contact to the person when you're saying something that means a lot or is very, very emotional. So I might look away from the camera when I'm not really saying anything important, but when I'm saying something important, I will look at you because I want you to remember it. You use your scope when you're going for the kill. Grip. In Call of Duty, this allows you, when you're aiming down the sights and you're shooting, to actually be more accurate. I'm pretty sure that's what it's used for. I might be wrong, but in real life, this is the equivalent of getting deep in a conversation with somebody. Allow yourself to go deep. I know this sounds really weird, but take it the right way. Don't be afraid, oh, I need to ask a new question. No. Go deep. But the question probably asking is, what if they don't want to talk to me? What if I can't go deep into a conversation? Then don't fucking talk to them. Simple as that. Choose a person who chooses you. Choose a girl who chooses you and choose friends who choose you. Now, stock in Call of Duty allows you to move faster when you're aiming down the sights. Now, this isn't directly equivalent to what I'm about to suggest, but it's somewhat equivalent. When you see a girl, a really attractive girl, or it's just a person you really want to talk to, give yourself 3 seconds to go and do it. No more than 3 seconds. You see a really attractive girl, you go and talk to her straight away. But what do I say to her? Is there anything specific about the environment? Is there anything she's wearing that might have caught your attention? What actually caught your attention? What did? Go up and be honest about it. If there's not, and I find a really attractive girl or someone I want to talk to, I will just mistake them for someone else I know. That's it. You might have watched my previous video where I did that in real life. Like, I forgot to write this shit down. Hold up. I've been getting too excited, bro. There we go. Number 5. This is your magazine. Your magazine is the equivalent of your conversation starters, the knowledge you have, the vocabulary you have. An extended magazine about a lot of topics is cool, but it's not necessary. It's a bonus to have, definitely. But think about the quality of bullets, the quality of conversation I can have, not the range of conversations I can have. But the question is, how do I get better at that? It's really, really simple. Read more books and watch more videos, and if you see a word or a sentence or a conversation starter that catches your eye, write it down and study it. And as I say in 90% of my social videos, speak on camera. Learn to speak on camera. There's no risk. You don't have to go out there and actually talk to people and stutter and get yourself fucking embarrassed. Talk to the camera just like it's a normal human being, just like I am doing right now. I'm speaking to you as if you are my mate, because you are. And last, barrel. This allows you to increase your range in Call of Duty. Equivalent to real life is you being able to expand your network and talk to new people. Now, this isn't necessary for everyone, because you might use something like a shotgun in COD, and you might not necessarily need your range to be massive. It might help, but it doesn't need to be very big, right? Same with thing in your life. You might not want to connect with a lot of people. You might just want to connect with 2 or 3 people on a really good level. But if you want to expand your network to maybe more important or prominent individuals, ask yourself, how can I be of value to these people? So let's say you see some really successful businessman and you want to get to know him, you want to pick his brain, you want to share his knowledge. How can I be somebody of value to this person? What can I do for him that saves him time, money? Also, going back to my point before, having knowledge on various topics allows you to be valuable to people. Now, before I get into the zombie power-ups, let's talk about perks and grenades. Grenades are go-to questions that you can use when you're really connecting with somebody. You're not going to use them right when you get into a battle. You're going to use them strategically because you only have a couple. So here are 3 really deep questions that you can use to really deepen your relationship with somebody. Number 1, this is my favorite. So tell me your story. But say it in a way that's actually inviting. Don't say, yeah, tell me your story. So tell me your story. I'll be excited to hear about it because you genuinely are excited to hear about it. Second one, so what are your plans for the future? You might say it in a more ambitious way. So what are your plans for the future? Third one is, if you could travel to one place on earth, where would it be? And this tells you a lot about someone's character. Keep in mind that place. If it's Paris, if it's Dubai, if it's Australia, yeah, the boys. Keep that in mind. Perks. Don't be afraid to stand out from the crowd. Wear something a little bit different. I don't like to really wear designer clothes. I wouldn't say this is a designer clothes. This is just a brand that I'll leave in the description. It's not mine, it's one of my mates. I've had this really simple hairstyle since I was like 5 years old. I'm not gonna change it. This is me, this is who I am. Don't be afraid to stand out. It might be a word that you use very often. You don't wanna be perfect, you want to be beautifully imperfect. Now, I'm really sorry if this video is over 10 minutes. I have a lot of knowledge I wanna share with you. So if it's over that, I'm sorry, but we're still gonna get to the power-ups that I have here, and I don't wanna miss out on them because these are the more of the quick fix approaches that you can do right now to improve your conversations. Now, Juggernog, this is your health in Call of Duty Zombies. But this is the equivalent of your fear of rejection. You take some Juggernog, your fear of rejection lessens. 2 really good ways you can do this. Number 1 is, before you go out and socialize, especially if it's important, go and do something extremely hard. First, go hit the hardest workout of your life. Go and take a freezing cold shower. Go and do 200 push-ups, because it's gonna give you the confidence. I just did that. Going up and talking to a girl was easy, bro. The second thing is, if you have the opportunity to do this, do warm-up approaches. So if you're going out there and cold approaching women, go out there and warm approach people. Go into shops and talk to the person at the desk. Get your conversation skills flowing, and you'll realize that getting rejected isn't as bad as it seems. Speak on. This is the equivalent of being more alert, thinking clearly. I'm not going to touch on this a lot because I don't need to. For me, what I will do is take a cold shower and I'll hit a really good workout, and I might eat a meal that's healthy. Quick revive. This is the equivalent of bouncing back after something happens in a conversation that you weren't expecting. So you stutter, maybe your face goes a little bit red, maybe you say something you probably shouldn't have said. Honestly, I think the only way you can really bounce back from this in an ideal way is just not giving a fuck. Like if something like that happens, who cares, bro? It is what it is. Like what's the worst that can happen? Like if you're talking to someone and you stutter and the other person stutters, do you really care? Probably not. If you do make a mistake in a conversation, ask them a question that gets them talking about themselves so you can recover. Ask them one of the questions I shared at the start of this video. Tombstone. I don't know if this is in BO6, but I know this was in Cold War. That's the one I used to play a lot. So I'm just using ones from there. This is your ability to actually bounce back when you do get rejected. So you can have Juggernog and die, and get rejected still. But how do you bounce back when you do get rejected? First things first, you have to realize that everybody gets rejected. The Chads get rejected. It is part of life. Social media is not real. I know you see on social media all the highlights of people picking up hot chicks. They've probably done it hundreds of times, bro. Second thing, you must have the confidence within yourself to realize that if a girl rejects you, or if somebody rejects you, whether it's a business partner, whatever it is, somebody just doesn't invite you into their presence. You miss out on that friend, whatever it may be. You have to realize that they missed out on a gem. You are a gem. And maybe you aren't behaving like a gem. Well, start behaving like a gem. If you want to get into business, you have that ruthless mentality. You work very, very hard. If someone rejects you on a business deal, they missed out on a gem because I know I'm young and I have a lot of potential and they're going to miss out on that. Have that confidence within yourself. Who gives a fuck? Honestly, don't get too egotistical, no, but have that confidence within you. If a girl rejects you, but you know who you are deep down, you genuinely care about people and you're not just doing this to lose your V card or whatever, realize she just missed out on a gem. Because she might get with a guy who just cares about sex and her life is ruined because of that. Last but not least, my favorite perk in the game and also in real life, stamina up. Just breathe, just relax. This is probably the opposite to actually stamina up when you move faster. But it's true. When you're in conversation, just breathe, just relax. Think about 10 years from now. Is this conversation really gonna matter? Probably not. Most importantly, even though I've said all this, you must play the game. Just start small. Just start in those noob, shitty lobbies, bro. Just get in the flow of it and then you will build up. And I'll catch you later. Much love, man. Peace.